Well, hello my friends on YouTube. Today I took off the good old wife beater and I put on a shirt and tie because we are gonna have a look at a gentleman's carry. This is a knife from one of my favorite brands, the Real Steel knives, and this is called the Real Steel G5 Metamorph. The G in G5 stands for gentleman, so this is in fact a gentleman's carry. So I of course had to put on some nice clothes, and I didn't want some tea, so I took some coffee. But this is called the G5 Metamorph, G standing for gentleman, and this is the Real Steel's way of naming their different knives. Their model number is in fact also the designated use sort of for their different knives, and the G always stands for gentleman. So this is a gentleman's carry, and you can see it here. This design is an Ostap design, Ostap is a Polish designer, and he made all the knives in Real Steel's G series. I'll just have a look and find very quickly one of the other ones. There's only about 3. It is the G3, and I have the G3 Puko. Much heavier knife, but still considered a gentleman's carry. I'll just put that away. I'll just take it again because you can definitely see some resemblance in the way they are made and in the design. So no doubt it's the same designer. So what do we have here? A very slim blade. Very, what do you call it? Yeah, slim, and a bit of a nice satin finish. I'll try to see if I can show you in the light. Very nice. Very, very sharp blade with a bit of switching on the spine, and a very, very pointy drop point. On top of the blade, a bit of jimping. And this jimping is actually very nice because it is quite smooth when you just slide your thumb, but in the moment you hold on to it, it really bites down and gives some nice grip, at least there. Handles in this case are made, in all cases are made of aluminium, but they come in different colors. There's this one, which is called rose gold, and then there's the sort of a gray, raw titanium look, and a blue one, and they all look very nice. Blade material is 14C28N, which is a favorite of Real Steel's, and on the blade, very discreetly, the Real Steel logo on this side, and on the other side, if I can, at least you can see the size. It's very, very small G5 Metamorph, Ostap design, and the blade designation, the steel designation 14C28N. Looking at the handle, a very, very clean and nice handle. As I said, in aluminum, nested liners inside, and very few screws to blur the picture. At the spine, full backspacer, though a bit floating, and a very, very little hole here at the bottom for a lanyard. We can look at the other side. We have a very slender or slim clip. Not very deep carry, and this is the only side that it sits on, so sorry for you lefties. Not very much purchase underneath the clip, so your pocket liners has to be rather small. So it doesn't look very rounded off. It actually is quite nice in hand. Still, it has some corners, but that's also part of the design. Fit and finish is, it's rounded off at the right places, but they sacrificed some in the corners for the design, I have to say. But still, it's very nice in hand, and I don't think the intended use of this one is to cut a ton of fire sticks or anything like that. I suppose that's why it's called a gentleman's carry. So the fit and finish is, it is quite nice in hand. Both reverse and normal grip, and even draw cut if you want to do that in this one, with this one. I forgot to mention when we talk about the blade has a front flipper, and I guess front flippers are sort of an acquired taste. You can see it here. It has a bit of a learning curve, I think. Most people can't just flip it the first time, but this one has an amazing action, which helps you quite a bit. And speaking about action, let's have a look. It almost drops shut, and it opens very, very nicely with just the right amount of detent. And I'm sorry, I just need a sip of coffee. I'm getting a bit dry in my mouth because of speaking too much. That's always my problem. It is a knife on bearings, and you really feel it in the action, which is very, very nice. If I already mentioned it, it opens and closes quite easily, but as I said, you have a bit of a learning curve. Looking at the bottom, we have this rather thin liner lock. I think it's worth noticing. It is a bit thin, and it locks up around 50%. The centering, absolutely perfect, like I'm used to with Real Steel. And Real Steel, what I like about them really, really much is action, and the general finish. They do a really, really good job. Very nice build quality. I have a bit of, if I should say something about overall impressions, I have a bit of an issue with this. It's a very, very nice knife, and I can recommend it wholeheartedly. But gentleman's carry, I don't know. I think they sort of sit between 2 or 3 chairs, because if it's a gentleman's carry and you're just your ordinary gentleman, well, it's okay. You can peel an apple, you can cut an apple, or whatever you want to do. If you're the sort of James Bond gentleman, well, I wouldn't recommend this for very much self-defense. There's nothing to hold your hand back. As soon as you get a bit slippery, your hand is going to end up on the blade. So, I don't know, self-defense. Is self-defense part of a gentleman's carry? It might be. It sort of depends, as I said, if you are James Bond or if you're just the ordinary gentleman. I also think that, at least in my country, if you were found to walk around with this one in public, I would have a bit difficult explaining that this was a tool. It looks, to me anyway, a bit murdery, and a lot of people would consider it very murdery. All the normal people, or what we call them, the sheeple, would consider it very normal, very stabby or murdery looking. And I think that's a big issue. When all is said and done, it is, however, a very, very nice knife, very well built, very nice color. It is this one rose anodized, not very manly perhaps, but if you're not afraid of colors, no problem. It just has a bit of limited use in my opinion, and that's of course is a bit of a problem, but for something you just pick up once in a while, I think it's actually absolutely beautiful and would go with some nice clothes very nicely indeed. As I said, it is sitting behind a few chairs in my opinion, but still in its own right a very, very nice knife with all the real steel qualities, and that's a good thing. And before I stop here, I just want to talk to you a little shortly about the ways that YouTube treated us smaller YouTubers. As some of you know, some of you don't know, I mentioned it in a video, they are demonetizing all of us if we don't have 1,000 subscribers. So I decided to remove all my ads on my videos so they won't bother you anymore. I did, however, set up what is known as a Patreon account, and this means that if you're so inclined, you might consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put a link in the description and at the end of this video. Patreon works so that you can give up down to $1 a month and support channels that you like. Don't in any way feel obligated to this. I have no sick grandmom. I have no desire to be rich quick or anything like that. If you want to show your support, that's the way to do it. You might as well leave a comment, leave a like. That's also okay. But if you want to show a bit of appreciation for what I do, you can do it that way as well. As I said, no obligations whatsoever, but it would, if you really want to, it can be a nice way to show your appreciation. And I guess that was it. I hope this wasn't considered begging. That was not the intention. And with this, have a nice day, evening, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.